Welcome to the latest episode or edition of Aspiring Creator, where we talk about all of the behind the scenes stuff that's happened in this YouTube business of mine. So for those of you who are new or I haven't probably explained this in the last few episodes, YouTube channel, focusing on tech. So we do laptops, phones, tablets, that kind of thing. About 280 something thousand subscribers. We do have a presence on Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn and other places, but YouTube very much is our main focus, and we would like to focus on other channels, but it is one of these things of like you just need to focus your effort and energy on one place. Even though the world is telling you to diversify and pull people off of YouTube and get their email addresses and all that kind of thing, which we will chat about more. This should be a good one because there's a fair bit to talk about. I'm actually finally home for a good few weeks, maybe even a couple of months or so without any press trips planned. I've had a bit of a busy period. We had a press trip and then literally I did 4 flights in 7 days. I had a press trip. As soon as I came home, we then went on a family holiday to Disney and then came back again like 4 days later. So it's been a very, very busy time. But now we finally have time to actually try and like catch up and organize and sort through everything that's going on. Lots of changes on the channel, team changes and everything. So we're just trying to work our way through those. So like, again, for those new to you, I have basically a list that I've listed out various things that have happened in the past week or since the last episode of this. It's actually been 2 weeks because I had that extra week off for the press trip and the holiday and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, some juicy stuff coming up, including a $25,000 sponsorship that I said no to, which we can chat about. And I can reason to myself why it was a good decision to say no to it. So firstly is challenges with video editor timings. So this is like a touchy subject because we now have 2/3 editors, I guess, if you class them all as editors. Well, I mean they're all editors. So we have our full-time editor who is living in New Zealand. And we have our full-time editor now, new guy, Ben, who's in here working with us here. And we also have another editor that we've used, and he's really, really helped us out recently when we've done extra videos. And before Ben joined, who was doing extra videos for us, or whenever we're having like any issues. My remote editor had like a week off in the middle of Apple season, so we needed someone to fill in to do the edit. So again, we've used that remote editor to help there as well. But really, it's definitely been challenging because it's the middle of tech season, or we're coming towards the end of tech season in a certain way. This is the beginning of November, so November and December, there's obviously still plenty of things, Black Friday and all that kind of stuff going on, but it's still fairly busy. Looking forward to it quieting down around about Christmas, and then we run into the whole like CES and Samsung launches and all sorts of stuff. But it's been really interesting and really challenging all the same, because trying to I feel like we've been struggling for quite a while to get our one good video out a week, and a lot of that is just because with like time differences. My remote editor that's in New Zealand has had a baby like 5-6 months ago or so. He's looking after that baby full time whilst also editing, and that's like obviously is hugely challenging because you can't do 2 full-time jobs at once. And so that's been causing a lot of issues, I would say. I think the biggest issue for me as like the business owner is not knowing what capacity we have. At the moment, a lot of it is just chasing the remote editor. And obviously, if you're watching, of course, like you're hugely grateful for everything you do, and the edits you do are incredible. So like very, very appreciative of you. But it's very difficult to not know what capacity we have, because we basically, the current progress or the previous process was we shoot the video, upload the footage, and then it just gets picked up remotely and obviously edited, and then we get an edit back at some point. And we've been trying to put in these deadlines for like we need the edit back by Friday, so we've got time to send it to the brand, get approval, make changes, and post the video. But we've just been missing those deadlines for 6 months since the baby came along. And so there's been very, and I obviously go away on press trips and brand trips and chat with other creators. And these guys are like, oh yeah, I have one editor and we're doing like 3 long form a week, or 1 long form and like 5 shorts and those kind of things. And I was sat there going like, how are we only just like managing to do 1 long form video? And I know there's a lot of like nuances to that because, everyone edits differently. We definitely spend more time editing our footage and, making it looking good. Lots of nicely produced B-roll and those kind of things. For example, I do know when I was chatting with E from This Is E, they spend a whole week producing the videos. There's 3 of them, 1 videographer, E himself, and 1 editor. And they 3 literally go from Monday to Friday making 1 video. with a little bit of extra time for short form video on like either the Monday or the Friday. And so, again, nuance, everyone's different. Lots of people can bash out loads of very little produced or underproduced shorts very, very quickly. Same with long form. You can push out a lot of long form videos if there's less editing going on. And we very firmly sit in the middle to requiring more editing, just with the way that I want the videos to turn out, because we want to, I want to have the whole like good music, good intros, good outros. I want to have like every video has this like feel good feeling when people have watched the video that it's been a good use of their time. And so having that remote editor, it's really difficult to know what your capacity is because you don't have any visibility of like how long stuff's taking and what they're doing and when they're doing it. Slack is quite useful because I can see his time zone. And dude, if you're watching, you reply at like 4 o'clock in the morning your time a lot of the time. I have no idea. I mean, baby, obviously. But again, like timings are all over the place. Whereas if we have someone here, at least we know that the working hours, so to speak, is the 9 to 5 or whatever it is. And so that is where we were previously. And here is what we've done to try and fix this and try and help this. So we have Ben, he's behind the camera at the moment, editing videos. And so the thought process now is, so Ben, obviously, we need a few weeks or months just to kind of get him to the level of like where we need our edits to be and just knowing where, the biggest one for us is like knowing where footage is, because a lot of our videos, we trawl back through our old footage and pull old footage out of other videos. There's no point us shooting new video clips when we know we've got it already from previous videos. And so a lot of this is like trying to figure that all out, learning where clips are. Even this week, we're trying to figure out, well, hey, we have a Synology NAS here with all of our footage in. Can we just point a folder on the NAS into like DaVinci? And so we can then quite easily search in DaVinci for the footage. And so that then led on to another thing of now we are renaming all of the footage we upload to the NAS to have keywords in the name of the clips. So we can have like, we're doing, can I say this before? I can say it, but we're not going to say anything about it. Or we're making a video about the OnePlus 15, which is under embargo until a few more days' time after you see this. But we're making a video on the OnePlus 15. So all of the B-roll clips, I'm naming like OnePlus 15 and then, I don't know, screen, water, charging, battery. So we can very quickly search and find those clips. So we're trying to figure out, like, again, that's fine now for all the videos going forward. That makes it way easier to find the right clips in DaVinci. And even like earlier today, we figured out that actually if we put the like battery, charging, whatever it is at the beginning of the file name, and then OnePlus 15 at the end, then as you're just looking at the clips in DaVinci, you can see exactly what each clip is about. Otherwise, they all just say OnePlus 15 because they all start with OnePlus 15. So we're just looking at ways to like be more efficient, get faster with the workflows. And so with the two editors we have now, the way we're looking at it, or the way I'm thinking of this, is we shoot the video here. So we're obviously like sat here today or whatever day shooting the video. As we are shooting the video, our editor here can be building that video within DaVinci. So cutting up the A-roll. We're looking at even using AI tools like DaVinci's AI cut to script features, or there is Gling AI, or there's Descript. We're going to have a look at those and seeing which of those features, or even just a manual cut. I mean, a manual cut takes maybe 1 to 2 hours. So it's not the longest thing ever. And then starting to place the B-roll clips on the timeline as we go through. So at least like the basics are all there. It's all done, like footage is on the timeline, even like finding the music tracks and getting them like the top and tail of the video, beginning and end, and getting that set up. And then what should happen, so that's all stored on the NAS here. The footage itself, the project itself is in DaVinci Cloud. And then our remote editor, we also sent him a NAS, another Synology NAS, which is synchronizing with our NAS here. So all of the clips, all of the footage, everything gets synchronized to his side of things. So we go to bed, by the time he wakes up and he starts at his like 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is, he should have all of the footage on the NAS. He should be able to open the project from DaVinci Cloud, but really not use any DaVinci Cloud storage because, again, it's all stored on the NAS rather than like in DaVinci Cloud, so to speak. So he should be able to pick up that video and continue editing. So to a certain point, we almost have like 24 continual hours of video editing because one person switches off, the other switches on, keeps on editing. And so I'm hopeful now that will actually really speed up the workflow. And we can then gain a ton of capacity. And then once the video's done, we can then bash out a load of shorts, maybe even add in a second video because, again, it's knowing the capacity and knowing how much progress we're making each day, which is like the key thing that I've been missing so far. So like that's the the biggest and best thing so far in the whole like team changes. Obviously, it's still early days. We're still figuring out how it all works, but very much excited to see where this goes. Next on the list. So yeah, I am. In terms of like content wise, we are looking to, one of my agency actually reached out and said, hey, this car brand's got in touch with us. Do you have any car content? Now we actually have, or I've had a video on my schedule for the last like 3-4 months or so, which is the Porsche Macan, which I ended up buying my wife like 4 or 5 months ago or so. And I ended up buying it thinking, oh, that's really cool. I'm going to buy it because then I can make a video about it and use it as like a showpiece to then like show other car brands, because then we can work with other car brands and maybe do paid content with them and that kind of thing. And this is around about the time that I saw like, Andres Verdosa has done like loads of content with like Ferrari and Porsche and like loads of other things. Carl Conrad, loads of the Canadian guys, weirdly, they just seem to get a lot more access into brands in general, but also car brands, Audi and all those kind of, I guess, like prestige kind of cars. And so it's been on the list, and we've now like dug our heels in and put in this video, so the Porsche Macan video, in December. And I'm trying to figure out, is it worth spending like £1,800 on buying a Mavic 4 Pro drone, and we can do some like incredible shots and get the drone and can use it for like this video and other videos? Or do we spend probably the best part of like £2,000, so like slightly more, getting a professional videography company out to do it for us? And so I'm going to walk you through like the process here, just so you can kind of see where my mind was going. Because we started off, there was a firm that I've spoken to before about this, and they're like, cool, yeah, we can do this. It's £2,500 plus VAT. So add an extra, 20% onto that price. And then there's also like drone permits, and also like they'll be using the like car mounted rigs so they can do follow shots and leading shots and those kind of things. But also came back to say like, but you can't film in the New Forest because like you're not allowed to. And so I saw that price and went, oh, that's actually quite a lot more than a drone. So actually, I might just buy the drone instead. And so I was leaning towards buying the drone. And then I had a chat with another friend of mine who also runs a commercial videography company. And their quote was, I can't remember what it was now. Was it like 1,500 or 1,800? Maybe £2,000 plus VAT on top of it. And like that was a lot closer to the price of the drone. And so now my options are, I can buy the drone, or for kind of the same money, I can have the professional company do it. But also this company were like, yeah, we filmed in the New Forest loads of times. We've actually got some places in like Goodwoods, big racecourse kind of area, but loads of like really nice countryside areas. We've filmed there before. We've got permission from the council for both of these locations. So there's zero issues with like getting permits. And so like that to me just makes me think, cool, let's go do that, because we can get some like guaranteed good looking shots because we have like professionals in to do it. Because of course, like whilst the camera is going to be a good camera if I buy it myself, it's still the skills of like being able to fly the drone and getting those shots, which I could probably figure out and learn and figure out. And Matt was going to get his drone license, but again, like you're talking about like beginners learning it versus like pros that have been doing this for years, so it makes a ton of sense to hire somebody else to do that. And then, so we're going to make this car video. Currently, it's unsponsored. There is like literally no sponsor, weirdly, that we can find that will be interested in the car video. I might speak to my agency about that just to try and push and see if they have somebody. But again, this is like December. Most people are trying to push for like Black Friday, Christmas deals, gift buying guides, all those kind of things. So less interest on Porsche. But my take is, this is we're literally going to publish it on like December the 20-something, 6th or something. So this is going to be quite a fun video where, look, everyone's chilling out, everyone's having some, sat at home, Christmas films, all those kind of things. This is going to be like a cool, like 20-minute video to watch about like Porsche that's completely like not gift buying guides, not Christmas, not like buy stuff, tech stuff. This is just like a fun, hey, come and watch this like cool lifestyle, vloggy style video with like some more like, it's very much there's a bit of it that's going to be like giving it to my wife and getting her reaction and that whole like process and journey. And then a bit of it that is just like the review of the car, like as a family car a few months later as a proper like review. And so I was looking around for videos to like use as inspiration of like, which videos perform well, which videos don't perform well, which, how does it open? The videos that have like really overperformed, how do their videos start? Like, are they using like drone shots? Are they using like exterior shots, interior shots? Are they like, doing the inside the driving car shots? Like trying to figure out what's a good approach to the video. And like, once again, it's so difficult to know which videos are that you should like use as learning material or like for research purposes. I came across a video from Carl Conrad on the Porsche Macan, 2.5 million views, and it had, I'm not sure what it was exactly. It just did not have anywhere near enough comments for a 2.5 million view video. And it, again, like massively outperformed all of his other content on the channel. There was a massive spike in views, and then it flatlined. And so I'm looking at that going, oh, come on, like, what benefit does that? I actually sent a message to my agent. I was like, do car brands look at that video and go, oh, that's incredible, I want to work with that guy? Or are they like clued up to the fact that he's bought like 2.4 million views on the video? I don't know. It's such a frustrating and weird thing. I don't know who benefits. Maybe the creator benefits because they look like they get a load of views. Maybe there's like, oh, look, the audience is obviously like really interested in Porsche. So therefore, Porsche, you should come and work with me because obviously there's like a massive, like overbearingly heavy audience size that wants more Porsche videos because there's like, 100x the views normal compared to all the other videos. Oh, I don't know. This is like one of the frustrating and hardest things about like content creation thing with the whole like buying views and subscribers. I find myself talking about it every time. I need to not to, but it keeps cropping up everywhere I look around. So I've kind of, obviously disregarded that his video as one of the like good examples. Again, it's like it's shot really well, great camera quality. I've met Carl on a number of trips, but why buy views? Why buy views? Okay, $25,000. So we had a brand deal come in from the agency for $25,000. And I'm going to run you through my thought process because we came so close to saying yes to this. And it was a couple of things that ended up being the reasons why we said no. It was the lack of flexibility and timings. So the deal was 25 grand for a video from I'm going to say a home appliances company. Let's just put it that. And they wanted a 6-minute video about, hey, talk about this product, this particular one product, and how it's like won these certain awards. So I looked over it, went, $25,000 is a lot of money for a 6-minute video. That could pay for months and months of video editing or rent or like camera gear or prizes and giveaways. And so like my brain went to how do we make this a win for the magic triad or the three, because every video and every sponsor has to be like a win for all three people. It has to be a win for the viewers because they get something out of it. They are discovering a brand that they've never come across before. That's a great product. That's that they will have a genuine interest for and hunger for. The brand gets a win because they get the exposure, they get the conversions, they get the brand awareness. And the creator wins because we get to, yes, A, get paid, but also B, we get to, showcase that to our audience and show them something that they should be really interested in. And so my thought process went from, okay, so they're going to pay us a lot of money for this video that's basically a 6-minute ad read. How can I turn this into a triple three like win thing? And my thought went to, well, look, yes, they want an ad, but we can then use that money to make other videos way better and do other videos we hadn't already planned. So what about if we, in this video, I just started it off with being very upfront and say, hey, this brand's reached out. They've asked us to make this video. They paid us a fair amount of money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away one product, any product that we reviewed on this channel in the last 12 months. Somewhere in this video, I'm going to mention the name of a product we have reviewed on the channel. And so all you need to do is watch the video and find what that word is. And then, click on a Gleam competition entry system thing. So they have to click down, enter the words to enter the competition. And then if they win, they then obviously can choose any product on the channel in the last 12 months that we've covered. And that was the thought process initially. And then I went on to well, hey, actually, if we can keep the competition open until the end of the year, then in every single video up until the end of the year, I can say, hey, in partnership with this company, we're actually running a competition where you can win any product on the channel. So just go watch the video, so it will drive more views back to their video, and get some more views, gets the more people enter the competition, more people chance to win. Again, a win for the viewers, and maybe even multiple. I was even thinking we could do one a month because obviously there's $25,000 is a good amount of money for that. Without it being I don't want to take $25,000 to spend $25,000, if that makes sense. So just to give things away because that's no benefit other than to those 5 or 6 people that win the prize. It needs to be hey, can it level up our videos or give us an opportunity to do something we didn't do before? So that's where we went. And then they came back with, well, no, they don't want you talking about any other products in their videos apart from theirs. They have offered you one of their like I don't know, like appliances as a prize, and that's it. And I'm like, well, no one gives a shit about their appliances. Just, like, sorry, but like nobody watching a video gives a shit about their appliance. Okay, well, I'm going to change that. So the goal of this video is brand awareness. Brand awareness means they just want as many people as possible to see their name and know about them and know who they are. Conversion-based campaigns, they want people to buy stuff. Dedicated videos are conversion-based, generally speaking, because dedicated videos, most people only watch videos about a product if they're interested in buying a product. So, like, robotic lawnmowers, vacuum cleaners, like all these kind of things, these random things, pool cleaners, all these random videos that seem to pop up. The only people watching those videos generally are people that are interested in buying one of those videos, buying one of those products. And so, therefore, lots of these products you find people are buying views on them to inflate their views because they take a wad of money because it's well paid, and then they go and spend some of the money on buying views to bring their video views up to where it should be on the channel if it was not a paid dedicated video. And so, like, if they want awareness, then awareness is let us do whatever we want to do, and we'll let people be aware of your products, and we'll drop your name in, and like we can talk about the awards and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. But like making a whole video not mentioning a single other person is not brand awareness. That's conversion based. And so like the agency went back and said, well, hey, what if we give away one of your things, but we can also like have me say like, look, I'm going to put my money in my own pocket and also give you another product that we've covered on the channel. And they were just like, no, just has to be our product. You have to talk for 6 minutes about our product, about the awards, and about this. And it, like all of this was going on, and they wanted the video posted by Friday, so tomorrow. So they wanted the video posted by like the 7th of November. And I basically turned around and said no on Tuesday. So this was like the 4th or 5th of November. Because like at that point, they were pushing back and I was like, I just don't have time to negotiate. We cannot post the video by Friday. Like I'm not going to put myself and the team under that stress, or like finding that external editor to edit the extra video, and me under the pressure to go and shoot the video quickly, even for like $25,000. Like it's just not worth the hassle and not worth the potential damage on the channel, because this is the other thing I try and do with every video we do on the channel. Whenever I'm scripting it, whenever I'm making a video, I try and predict what people are going to be commenting in the comments. And my prediction are like, I just go to, there's a video I mentioned before. I think Android Authority did a sponsored video by Midea, and it was an EFA video about like smart appliances, smart home tech, or whatever it was. 2 million views within like a few days, obviously boosted by PR agency or Midea or whatever it was. And like just the comments on their video was like trash, absolute sellouts. This video should be called like sponsored showcase by Midea. I bought my views. Just like all sorts of like really negative comments, and like not many comments. And it's just like the thought of that video being on my channel and having those negative comments whilst I'm kind of sat there going like, hey, but I got paid money, so yay. And that just doesn't really cut it for me. Like I don't want to like punish the audience by putting on crap content on the channel. It has to be content that they're interested in. And so we were trying to, again, like figure a way out to make it a win for everybody. Like, hey, like this is a 6-minute ad, but if you do watch the ad, there's a competition and money and like you can win stuff. And that was like the best approach we got, and like no interest. So we said no. I said no. And yeah, hopefully I'm just thinking about like that of like, maybe that will just come back in future in maybe a better fit brand will approach the channel, and having not seeing an obviously paid sponsored boosted views video on the channel will do the thing. And actually one of the thoughts in the back of my mind was, I keep saying like, don't do this stuff because it's bad for you. Let's just do it and just see what happens, because at least we've lived through the experience. But I don't know, good got better of me and I said no eventually. So we have not done that. Speaking of which, so yeah, I was hopeful that going forward, then maybe this will have like maybe was it Karma might like correct itself, and maybe we'll get another $25,000 video from another brand, but it's actually like a better fit brand. And so like we haven't negotiated any pricing yet, and like I think we've sent them a price, but they've not replied yet. But of all brands, I was at Legoland like this time last week, I think, with the family. And then of all things, Lego reached out. They were in like my inbox. So had a chat with Lego. We're going to try and do some work together, which I thought was super cool because I keep seeing like other content creators, opening Lego and gifted Lego products, and obviously it's a great fun thing to do. I've got kids. Well, one of my kids loves Lego, so that'll be freaking awesome. But interestingly, when I was speaking to them, I was like, how did you come across us? Because like I'm always super intrigued to know like how brands come across the creators. And they were just like, oh, hey, yeah, we use this, a platform, I think like Creator IQ. Like, surely you must know about it already. And I was like, slightly going, yeah, of course, yeah, I know about Creator IQ, of course, yeah, yeah, of course we do. And then quickly googling what it is and how to get into it and all these kind of things. But Creator IQ is a platform where creators, unless I'm mistaken, like creators themselves can't create profiles and can't log in and do anything. It's purely a brand platform where brands log in and you use it to discover creators. And, I guess they can set filters for like channel sizes and platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and those kind of things. And so like, it's interesting because, I always want to like figure out, well, how do they come across me? Can I then go on there and like, can I check the information they can see? Like, what information are they seeing? Like, are the statistics correct that they're seeing? And actually, there was tagging onto that one. There was I was chatting with another brand a few weeks ago, and we were like negotiating brand deals. And they came back to me saying like, well, the team, they're a bit like disappointed because they used there's like a YouTube channelytics. No, what's it called? There's a like a public tool out there you can use just to go and look up any YouTube channel, and it will show you like the kind of views they're getting monthly and the kind of the trend and the growth and how many subscribers they've added. It's not view stats; it is something else. And so they use these tools, and they're like, well, cause we were basically pitching for more money than we did last time. And their response was, well, the views on the channel have leveled out a bit, and your growth has slowed down a bit. But none of those things were like bad things to me. So the views leveling out to me is that's like, yeah, we've kind of got to a stage now where we know like the videos to make, and that most videos get like a reasonable amount of views. There's no like big like ups and peaks and troughs, and there's no like absolute massive like absolute horrendous videos we should never have made that have only done 100 views anymore, which was probably what was happening this time last year. So again, views have leveled out because we've kind of figured out the content strategy now. And then channel growth is slowing down, and this again is going from the previous strategy we had on the channel was so when Chris worked with me, he does like content strategy now for like other channels and other businesses. But the strategy was we look for outliers, like high performing videos on other people's channels, and we make our versions of them. We reimagine them, use inspiration for a thumbnail, and all that kind of stuff. So that was the strategy, and that meant that we had some very high performing videos, also some very poor performing videos. But the chances of us having a video that did overperform and do really well would mean that chances of our channel growing faster are a lot higher. So, and that kind of got us to where we are now. And then when I was chatting with like a few other brands, and with Angus, who I have a chat with sometimes as well, who works for Ali Abdul, we're just chatting about like, I feel like we're in like this sweet spot right now, like the 200 and something thousand subscriber sweet spots, which is probably applicable up to like 500,000 subscribers, where we are big enough for brands to want to work with us, but we're not like too big where we're too expensive for brands to work with us. And so like, I feel like being in that sweet spot is a really nice space. If you're like 1 million plus subscribers and you can command much higher, rates for your videos, what are the chances of like one brand wanting to spend a wad of money with just one creator because that's all their budget is, versus being able to spread the money across 30, 40, 50, 100, 200 creators that are in this smaller bucket? And so it feels to me like it's better to be in this middle section where you can still take those like multiple brands and multiple deals and partnerships and things, rather than being into 1 million. Like, not going to say no to have 1 million subscribers. That's just, but I feel like it's like we purposely, to a certain point, slowed down our views. My strategy changed from doing the big high performing potential viral videos to now let's just focus on doing the videos that I want to make and I think will be interesting to the audience, versus which ones will perform well with the audience. So we've done the videos that like we probably shouldn't have done, like the ubiquity video, like a networking video. We posted a video about like doing up my house's home Wi-Fi and networking and 10 gig and upgrading the internet connection. And I thought that video was going to absolutely tank because we haven't done any form of techie content on the channel for a long time, like very, very early days in the very first few months, but not since then. And it's done like, I don't know, 60,000 views within the last week or so. Performed really well. We are reaching out to Ubiquity and they've replied back again. We've just pitched another video to them of like a buyer's guide and they've been like, yep, cool. Let us know what you need. We'll send it to you. So that has been awesome. But again, like I need to try and slip in there somehow. Like, do you have budget for paid campaigns or do we need to go and find a sponsor for the next video? So there's that discussion to be had. But because we are now, again, making videos because I think something of go like, oh, that would be really interesting to make. Like, I'm interested. I'm excited in making that video. There's a bit of hesitance on whether the audience is also excited and interested to watch the video. But that's the thing of like views leveling out because we're kind of getting to know the viewer and, you know, people that are watching our videos and knowing like what people want and what is interesting and what isn't interesting. And so like I am going to leave it there. That is all of the things for this week's episode. Bang on 30 minutes. That isn't too bad. Again, if you are watching this, if you have any questions whatsoever on the whole content creation journey behind the scenes, if you want to ask me anything, like literally I'm an open book. You can ask me finances, team, structure, strategy, video content ideation, like anything that will help you in any other like categories as well. I know also we were looking at or are looking at bringing other people on. But honestly, like, again, with this schedule that I have, like, I just need to, this is like 5 o'clock on a Thursday night. And if I would have booked something in, it wouldn't have been at 5 o'clock on Thursday. It's just like, hey, I've got like a spare 30, 40 minutes. I know I can sit down and just chat to myself for like 30 minutes. Whereas trying to book it in, then it becomes like, oh, now I need to be like ready and available and have like prepared stuff. And it becomes a lot more organized versus this absolute shit show, which has been going on for a few months now. So thank you for subscribing. Please do subscribe on all the platforms. Leave some feedback, leave some comments, either on YouTube or on the podcast platform. Leave a review if you're watching or listening on various podcast platforms. And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you. Bye-bye.